Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Javon Judah. Hope everyone is doing well. And this little sit down and quick discussion is just to further point to the fact that we are all spirits, and spirits run this realm just as much as it runs the spiritual realm. And the physical is just happening in a slower pace than what's going on in the spiritual realm. You know, the same type of plots and tactics that happen against so-called targeted individuals, if you are really so-called TI. Now, we use that name so we can identify each other and we know what's happening when you hear someone as a targeted individual. But really, it's the persecution of the saints. And I suggest that you brothers and sisters don't try to debate with anybody who don't understand you, because that's like you going to a church that has a pastor and they think that he's sent by God. They're going to believe what they all agree on. So just because these people don't agree with you don't mean you're not right. Okay? So you just have to, as your own spirit, for your own self, you have to get past that. Because everybody didn't agree with Christ. Everybody did not agree with his disciples. And the Bible proves that over and over and over again. You know, the Pharisees sent out spies. And they sent out people that they had initiated to be Pharisees, which was really, you know, the way that they attacked him was overt, but it was covert as well, just like what's happening in you. So that same spirit is going to continue to try to ensnare and try to make stumble and fall whatever spirit that Christ, the Messiah, the Hamashiach, Yahushua, was rolling in, and his disciples, because this is their heaven. You know, that the heaven that is promised to the saints and to God's children doesn't exist for them, because they have basically served another master all of their life. So that's why they couldn't receive him when he came and was right in front of them. They fought against him. They fought against his words because they didn't have the spirit. But you have to remember, when the Bible speaks of the tares in the wheat and the parable of the sower, all of these things, even when they was talking about the Nephilim and the giants, you know, the Bible repeats itself over and over again, but it's on a different level with whoever's teaching it. But it's all bearing witness to the same thing. So even much more now in our days and time, it's just like the days that was happening in Noah's time. See, the Father has to cleanse this place all over again, not from all the worship of idols. We call them idols, but you know, and that's what they are. But they are still living. You know, it's within the Father's power how much power they have. And once he gives you over to those things, yes, they have power over you. But if they didn't have any power at all, he wouldn't tell you not to do it. Okay? So these people that have joined these, I'm going to use a word that they like to use because they think they're so smart, associations. They don't serve the Father of heaven and earth. They serve Lucifer, man. They serve, and then they try to make him look like, well, Lucifer is not even the Satan of the Bible. It's two different things. See, that's with their deep knowledge, they can't even grasp that. But anyway, they serve whatever the heathen serve, the gods of Egypt and idols of Egypt and of Rome, and anything that's blasphemous and against what the Bible is talking about for under Most High. So by But not even by default, man, because the Father then already cursed whoever gonna do that. So they gonna come against whoever has the true message. Because for one, when the Father shines His light on you and you have the Spirit of Christ, your brightness, His brightness in you, reminds them of what their punishment is going to be. It's going to remind them of how they missed the mark every day. So they're out there. Basically, he was a master at what he done. That's why they call him master. That's why they call him teacher. We're talking about Yahweh Shah. We're talking about the Hamashiach Christ. Okay. So they would come to him and basically want to jest with him and want to fight with him and strive against him and his disciples, because it's likened to when you watch an old school karate movie and you have that master that's out there and he doesn't even, consider himself nobody, but and it's like he's turning down fights. He's turning down fights and he's walking away trying to keep the peace, because what he has is not for fighting. You know what I mean? It's not for, he already knows there's strength within him. He doesn't have to prove it over and over again. But those who are trying to make a name for themselves, like in the world they say they do anything for clout. When they try to make a name for themselves, or somebody comes to them and speaks of the legend that they or the good person that they believe you are, or that they believe Yahweh Shah was, or his disciples was, there's the hate. There's the envy, because they need that preeminence for themselves. And when you're dealing with those type of narcissistic spirits, they come with many other spirits. You know what I'm saying? They all roll together. One spirit don't roll by itself. So basically it's envy. It's like somebody says something nice about you, so now these people got to try to find something wrong with you. That's why they come to try to trip you up in your words. And basically, you shouldn't be worried about what the world say about you, because they'll never agree with you anyway. If they did, they would hear you and they wouldn't seek you out to try to destroy your name or to try to destroy what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people out here that can do whatever they want to under the sun, worship what they want, and don't have to hear no garbage about it. But those are the people that Satan already has. Because Satan has many different religions that lead back to him. To that rabbit hole that only leads to him. Confusion. But there's only one door that leads to the one true God, which is Yahweh. And Yahweh is the Lord of hosts, of all spirits. The Father of all spirits, and was nothing formed before him. So that's what you got to remember. And these, just like in those karate movies, those people will come to try to make their own name famous against you. So constantly endure and constantly, live your life knowing that the reason that you're being watched is spiritual. Forget what they say. Who cares? Who piles up in a pack besides wolves and sheep's clothing? But one thing about it, the day of the Christian gangster is over. They can't hide their works. And the Father is sending Yahweh Shah back soon with that legion. Gabriel, Michael, all of them are coming back, and to bring destruction and lay that shit waste like they did in Egypt and all around this world when they destroyed it the first time. It's going to happen again. So those disciples of all that pagan stuff that they tried to mix with Christianity, man, they're going to destroy them all over again, because they done already gave their allegiance to these fallen angels and to the fallen ones and to the devil, basically. And that makes them devils, and that makes them antichrist. So brothers and sisters, continue to elevate each other, do the work for yourself. Works will always show more than somebody's mouth. And it's better to be honored by the Father than by people. Because people have no honor of themselves. So I just want to leave y'all with a couple of verses to further drive it home what's happening. Okay, this has come from Mark. Mark 12:13. They said, and they said unto him certain of the Pharisees and of the Herodians to catch him in his words. Is that not what they try to come and do to you? Come and try to ask you what you believe in, so they can go try to take it back and make you the bad guy, and so they can try to entangle you and entrap you, try to set you up. First of all, if you was wrong, why they gotta set you up anyway? Something to think about, man. Who does that? Why would it need to be set up? Anyway, Psalms 2:2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh, because it's right there in big, it's capital letters when they spell the Lord. So that's time to say, tell you that's the Lord's name right there. That's trying to tell you that's God's name, Yahweh, and against His anointed. So it's telling you that that's what the kings are, what everybody who was in a ruling position, they set themselves against Him. So they're not trying to fight. They claim they're fighting against you, but the Father looks at it like they're fighting against Him. That's why you know they got to be demonically programmed, man. There's spiritual. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, brothers and sisters. There's a evil spiritual hierarchy that these drones fall under, and it's not your fault that they're there. Just like it's a blessing to be awake, because the Father is choosing to leave them in darkness, just like He chose to wake you up out of it, to be set apart. They're not set apart. How can you be set apart with a whole daggone a whole group of people? all to preach the ball together, ready to get that flame. You ready to get that Elijah flame caught on them. Okay, let's read a little more here. Okay, Luke 20:20. And they watched him and sent forth spies. Spies, and watched him. Who does that? Which should feign themselves just men, which are saying that they the good guys. Why they dirtying up your name with the smear campaign and the flying monkeys? Y'all, people who study narcissists and all of that, basically, you know, it's the same thing. The Bible spoke about that first, you know, and how they set these social media accounts up about you, and you know, try to get in everybody's ear that you work with and your family, and try to make them well, that's probably the best thing that ever happened to you, because you know, these people who chose to be on their side,